Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Syilda Ismail, and you are watching Kinihalal talk show series. And today we shall be talking about a trendy topic, which is Islamic Fintech in Malaysia. Why Islamic Fintech is more relevant than ever amid Covid-19. And let me introduce our Fintech panelists for today. And none other, we have Norhizam Abdul Kadir, Vice President of Fintech and Islamic Digital Economy Division, MDec. Hello, Izam.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. All right, the next we have here from Wahid Technologies, the talk of the town on robo-advisor, Muhammad Izzat Fadhli bin Azman, Executive Director for Wahid Invest. Hi, Izzat.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thank you for inviting Wahid Invest.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. And none other, we have on the P2P front, focusing on the microfinance sector, we have the founder and CEO Tunku Nasaifuddin Mudzaffar. He is actually currently away from town. Thank you for joining us, Tunku.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good evening, everyone.
All right, Tunku. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us today. All right. Let's just cut to the chase. Start with Hizam from MDec, focusing on the current Islamic fintech scenario, the landscape in Malaysia. Hizam, what are your views on the acceptance of Malaysian, for Islamic fintech products and services, especially, during COVID-19?
If we were to look at the acceptance of financial services, Islamic fintech services, just like any other tech services, is very much determined by its ease of use, by its usefulness, and by how convenient it is. With Islamic fintech, there's an additional stuff to it, because the solutions that are developed by Islamic fintech companies like MicroLEAP as well as Wahid Invest are guided by the principle of Islam, right? When it's guided by principle of Islam, it reaches to the Muslims who wants to use services that are Sharia compliant. Alhamdulillah, I think acceptance, more people have begun to not just experiment, but to be using these services because they want to use services, financial services that are in accordance to Sharia. And if you were to look in Malaysia, Malaysia is relatively a young population, a lot of digital natives. Broadband connectivity have significantly improved in Malaysia. Smartphone penetration, smartphone ownerships have gone much higher in Malaysia as well. So many people are now able to reach out to applications like Wahid Invest to invest in an Islamic way, or to be getting capital in a Sharia compliance way, and many other solutions that are available right now according to Sharia compliance, just by just by using your smartphone. A lot of awareness needs to be created, definitely, and it all leads back to the convenience, the usefulness, as well as the ease of use for the users themselves.
All right. I think I would agree in terms of the customer experience too. Coming back into customer experience, we have here from Wahid Invest. Izzat, tell me more about, first Wahid Invest. And I understand it's the first Sharia compliant robo-advisor. And to some, what is robo-advisor? And how does your investor adopt to this RA?
Okay, thank you. So firstly, to introduce Wahid Invest. Wahid Invest is a halal-focused investment firm. We started back in 2016 in the US by our founder, Junaid Wahidna. And we were licensed in the US as a financial advisor back in 2016 by the Securities Exchange Commission. And then in 2018, we also received license from the Financial Conduct Authority in the United Kingdom. And last year in August, Alhamdulillah, we received a license to become the first Islamic digital investment manager here by the Securities Commission. And we launched soon after in October 2019. So what robo-advisor is simply is a financial advisor, but it's done digitally. So if you would think about the old days of personal financial advisors that were only used by the high net worth or the affluent community, Right now, it can be done digitally, whereby people can download not just Wahi Invest as the Islamic Shariah robo-advisors. There are other robo-advisors as well. There are conventional robo-advisors as well. You can download the app. You can register yourself. You will go through a series of questions for the app to assess your risk tolerance, and then you'll be recommended a certain portfolio, investment portfolio. And that is basically the algorithm basically churning the numbers. They look at your age, look at your income level, your tolerance
your
to
credit
testing.
ratings or something. Do they have that?
Not to that
Not
extent.
so much, yeah.
Not to that extent.
So that would be MicroLEAP, yeah.
So after that, after a portfolio is recommended, you can then go through the eKYC process. So all of this can be done in 10 minutes. And it's simple. Access is easy. Everything is done digitally. And after you are comfortable with the process, you can then, for us, you can invest the minimum of 100 ringgit, and what you get is actually a diversified portfolio, not just investment in one asset. You get actually investments in Malaysian equity, US equity, a sukuk, and also a commodity, which is a gold, in a diversified manner to basically make sure that you hedge your investments. And I think for us in Malaysia, since we launched, we've seen the acceptance by the local, not just the local, Muslims. We also have a sizable non-Muslim clients as well, because they see us as not only a Sharia robo, but also an ethical robo advisor as well. So this is something that we've seen getting, the acceptance getting bigger and bigger, especially since we had the MCO period where people stay at home, they can't go to can't go outside, so they explore, and not just with robo advisors, they explore with the digital brokers as well. They explore with other fintech solutions as well, and hopefully this trend we hope can continue.
How was the experience like? I mean, especially in COVID-19, is there an increase? I understand that there's yesterday, Wahi Invest clocked 1,000 investors, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so globally, I think it was last week that we clocked 100,000 users.
100,000, I'm sorry, yeah.
Globally. So
yeah,
that
globally.
Our US, UK, Malaysian, and global platform as well.
Yeah.
And during the lockdown period, we've seen transactionally that it was impacted because of the market sell down. But in terms of the growth of users, we were still and are still seeing growth beyond our initial expectation, even currently. So it is very uplifting to see it. People are getting more comfortable in using fintech solutions, and we hope that this trend that we are seeing is not just just a short-term pattern because people are at home. We hope this continues in the long run.
Yeah, I hope it becomes an habitual after this. Okay, going back to P2P, I would say it's the new kid on the block for Islamic Fintech. How is it about P2P microfinance? Can you tell me more about it? And I'm very sure during COVID-19, how was the response? Tunku.
Hi, yes. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. Good evening, everyone. Assalamualaikum. So, MicroLEAP is a proudly Malaysian fintech company. So we're an Islamic and conventional P2P microfinancing platform. P2P means peer-to-peer. So my example is if you're Makcik Kia who wants 10,000 ringgit for her runcit in Kuala Pilah, that will be crowdfunded by say 100 investors, and your Makcik Kia will probably be paying a profit rate of anywhere between 10 to 12% per annum, and that will go direct to all the investors. So it is a debt instrument, but in how we do it, how we make it Sharia compliant is we use commodity murabaha to make it Sharia compliant.
Okay.
So your Makcik Kia will be paying you as an investor every month for 36 months, and by having this platform, you are helping, you know, small micro enterprises, these small businesses raise Islamic financing, because these small financings or small loans is difficult for many of these micro enterprises. Banks are not keen to lend 10,000 ringgit, 15,000 ringgit. For banks, it's more cost effective to lend a larger ticket size, for example, 1 million, because the cost is so high. But for us as a fintech player, as a fintech company, we can help raise financing for this small amounts, because we're all online. As Izzat said before, Malaysia is ripe for digital financial services. Smartphone penetration is high. Internet penetration is even higher. So we are ripe for Islamic fintech. In terms of COVID-19, we're actually seeing more investors. We call them investors, P2P investors. These are, for example, you or me, who have only want to invest with a minimum amount of 50 ringgit. They can invest in a small business. They've actually been quite active in terms of our user base. So we're getting more of these guys getting online, looking to invest and finance all these small enterprises.
So what are the benefits of microfinancing via MicroLEAP versus the conventional?
Well, conventional, first of all, the traditional means normally you go to bank. Okay, a bank will want to get 3 years, at least be 3 years in operation. They want to see 3 years of revenue. Some banks want collateral. Also the revenue, they have to see it going up in a positive way. You can't have 1 year it goes up 10%, and then next year you make revenue that goes down 5%. One is constantly growing. It's very labor intensive. You have to go to the branch of the bank to open an account and get financing. While for us, everything is done online. From your application, you're filling in your forms online, you upload your front and back of your IC. We use non-face-to-face KYC. KYC is know your customer. So everything is very easy to use on our platform. So the difference is documents. You require less documents for MicroLEAP. You only need to be in existence 6 months, but you have to be making revenue. You have to be making money, because this is, at the end of the day, this is a debt instrument. Okay, so you on the first month you have to start paying back your financing.
All right. Okay, Hizam, as what we see in MicroLEAP, there's also conventional fintech and also Islamic fintech. How do you keep this up into Sharia-based approach? Perhaps you can give us the advice.
Well, Islamic fintech, I can call it a branch of fintech. Yeah, it's just that Islamic fintech marries Sharia compliance with digitally delivered financial solutions, and it makes it easy for Muslims as well as for non-Muslims to access financial instruments that are accessible via financial institutions like banks. Also now can be accessed via instruments like Wahid Invest and MicroLEAP. You want to invest, you invest in Wahid Invest. You want to get some loans. Makcik Kia wants to get 10,000 ringgit for her to be expanding her business. She can raise a campaign on MicroLEAP. I think with Islamic fintech, it's how it is in line with the principles of our faith, of Islam. And if we were to look at Malaysia's context, quite a number of majority of the B40s are the Malays, and that translates being Muslims, and Malaysia being a rather young population, as I mentioned earlier, these are digital natives. And when you are digitally natives, you are very handy with your devices. Maybe when exceptions of Makcik Kia probably use their...
Yeah, we have that Makcik Kia again,
Makcik Kia right now probably use their smartphones to be connected on with the children, with the family, for WhatsApp and for WeChat, or maybe...
And also for shopping.
For
shopping,
or maybe to create some videos on TikTok.
Definitely, I'm not Makcik Kia. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
These are opportunities, actually. These are opportunities, and we feel that for Makcik Kia to be able to get 10,000 ringgit loan and going through financial institutions, as what Tunku Danny said earlier, it would be quite difficult for her because she may not have credit history. And with the eKYC process and the whole guidelines, the complete guidelines are going to be released soon, right? And the validation process is very different. It's done using data analytics. So other means of data, right? Like your social media patterns, like your e-commerce usage, or to a certain extent, some of fintech companies are already using psychometrics to determine, to determine whether this person who loans money
legit,
from companies are legit. So
correct.
we see all this transformations. We see this as great opportunities for fintech to be able to be more financially included, right? The drive for financial inclusion is important because as someone from government agency, we believe that everyone need to be able to have the right of equitable wealth distribution, right? And we believe that digital financial instruments would be able to expedite that process even more.
Have you met Wahid and also MicroLEAP? Have you met Tunku and also Izzat before, Hizam?
Yes, and I think that these are great.
What do you think of them, Wahid and also MicroLEAP? They've been about eight months, if I'm not mistaken, last year, about October 2019. So what do you think about them, Hizam?
I'm probably the oldest among all four of us here, and and I'm very proud to see Malaysians taking the lead in developing solutions that would then be able to help solve problems. Malaysia as a country, while we are pretty high when it comes to bank population, 95% of Malaysia have banks, have deposit accounts, have bank accounts, but there's still a pretty huge underserved community. Underserved in this context
unbanked communities,
Well, unbanked is good, right? We're good. 95% of Malaysians have bank accounts, as I said. But bank accounts doesn't necessarily mean that there's money inside there, right?
Correct.
So financial sustainability, how do you protect yourself? How do you look at it from managing your wealth in the future? As an example, as more and more Malaysians right now are moving towards being freelance, being in sharing and gig economy, 28% of workforce in Malaysia right now are on gig economy, and that numbers continues to grow. And a lot more are getting into SMEs, and rather than, they can become entrepreneurs themselves or they work for these entrepreneurs. Some of these small companies do not have proper retirement plans. So, and these are young people. They may be healthy right now, but as you get to my age, and that's when you start getting back pain, shoulder ache, and whatnot, right? Then you need to start thinking about how do you manage your future financial sustainability, and to invest now or to expand your business now in order for you to have a better future, so that you can be financially included, not just now, but as you go throughout your life and distribute that wealth throughout your family.
Fantastic. Okay, Izzat, since we're talking about wealth management, why do we should invest during COVID-19? I've read the research here. This is the right time for you to invest. Izzat, perhaps you can give us some insight from you.
Sure. Okay. Wahid Invest, as a robo-advisor, we are proponents of actually what is called passive investing. What it means is investing continuously, regardless of the market cycle. And in addition to doing so, we also advise our clients to do ringgit cost averaging, meaning not just depositing a lump sum deposit at one go, because that sort of, you can time the market, and if you don't time it right, then you can lose your money. What we are advising is for people to continuously, on a weekly or monthly basis, put in aside some investment savings, be it the minimum 100 or a bit more, and you do it continuously. And what that allows you is, throughout the market cycle, when you invest continuously, you get the cost at each level, and you average the cost. And this minimizes your risk in terms of whenever a market sell down happens. And when we roll out our recurring deposit, we've seen that people are getting that idea that investment is not just something that you do at one go. It's something that you have to consistently do at at whenever you are able to. And a lot of them that have done it since the beginning are now starting to see the benefits of it. So during COVID, when market sell down happened, we saw a lot of people withdrawing their money. But when they do that, they are actually withdrawing. They're actually losing money because we are basically executing their orders when the market is very low. But people who actually stayed through the period enjoyed the upswing. And if they deposit more, or if they continue to deposit when the market was at the bottom, they actually enjoyed the ride up as well. And this is something that I think concerns the financial literacy of public, and we are encouraged to see that our local social media, be it Twitter or be it Telegram or WhatsApp, we've seen certain communities that propped up, for Wahid Invest community or for other robo-advisor community, and they continuously teach each other about the benefits of ringgit cost averaging, staying true in the market, passive investing.
We have some videos,
Exactly. And we also have educational videos, not just for the Malaysian market, but also for our US and UK market as well, that can be consumed by the Malaysian clients as well, because it's basically a general investing guidelines. And as long as this growth in user base increase, as long as more people come into the community, what we hope is that financial literacy goes up. People understands that yes, we have Wahid Invest as a passive investment, but you can also complement us with other products as well. People are still saving in the risk-free products, the ASBs and the Tabung Haji, but they also can basically separate a bit of their disposable income to the robo-advisors or to the other unit trust managers as the financial knowledge increases.
Fantastic, Izzat. Okay, before we delve deeper, do share this video as wide as possible. For those who wish to know more about Wahid Invest, you can download their apps and also in iOS and Android. And if you want to know details about MicroLEAP, you can also go to their website, it's MicroLEAP Asia. You can also go to our caption and our pinned comments. There is a sort of like an inquiry link where you can fill up the details. Yeah, if you want to know the details about MicroLEAP and also Wahid Invest. Coming back to Tunku, I'm sure certainly your hands are really full this time, especially micro enterprises. They are struggling to survive in COVID-19. Okay, let's say I have a business, a tudung shop, a shawl shop, brick and mortar, suffered during COVID-19. So what is the process I need to go? And what if I'm also financially illiterate? How can MicroLEAP help me?
Okay, so let's just see how you would apply online. So you go online to our platform, www.microleap.com.
Okay.
Fill in the online application. You would need your 3 months bank statements. If your money goes into your personal account, then 3 months personal bank statements. You also need to have your financial statements. Now, this is the key. A lot of our micro enterprises, they may not be the best at financial literacy. When I say financial literacy, means they may not know their profit and loss. They may not know their balance sheet. These are kind of concepts that may be quite alien to them. So what we have on our platform is a simple Excel sheet that they can download. And when they key in all the figures, how much money is going in per month, how much money is going out in expenses, it will auto calculate their profit and loss for them. So it's easy to understand. So they can actually, majority of these micro enterprises, they just have to sit down and really take note and maybe use a Booker 355, where they fill in the money goes in and money goes out. But they have to be fill in the Excel sheet on a month-by-month basis, what they had been doing before, and then they will start to see that this is how much they're making per month. This is how much, if it's a good month, they're making X amount. If it's a bad month, they're making, Y amount. So this kind of financial literacy is very key for us to understand their business. Because if we don't understand their business, we won't be confident in giving them the financing. Now, what we also provide is free online video training on basic debt management, as well as basic accounting, for example, budgeting, bookkeeping. This can be, it's basically almost like a YouTube video. They can, all our, what we call them issuers, can have access to these videos.
All right.
We know that if we do finance these enterprises, they have the ability to manage the debt. So that's key. Second, we also use psychometric testing as Ahmed said. So this psychometric testing is an alternative credit scoring tool. Traditional credit scoring is you use CTOS or Experian. You get their credit score, make sure they have a credit history, and then you will give them the loan. But with tech players, we look at alternative ways to credit score a company. So for us, we use psychometric testing, which measures the ability for a issuer or willingness for them to pay back their financing. So this comes into our credit score, and if everything is fine and the checks are done, then you are hosted on our platform, and then you have 30 days for investors to come in and invest and give you the financing.
All right. Tunku, actually, I was looking at the latest investment note. The retailers, Danisha Homemade Cookies and Cakes. How has that been with them? How's their business now?
Yeah, so they're very good. So Danisha Homemade Cookies, they wanted 40,000 ringgit for a tenure of 36 months. So we did the credit scoring for them. During MCO, they were actually very good. So obviously, the shop was closed, but we're doing online orders and online deliveries. So with that, we knew that they have kind of pivoted their business to an online model for now. And once the shop was open, they're doing much better than before COVID. So we finance through the P2P investors 40,000 ringgit at a profit rate of 11% per annum. And that was done in a space of 2 weeks. So I managed to raise financing in about 2 weeks' time. So very quick for them, and they're very happy. We even helped do small posters for them that they could put on their shop, saying, apply online to be a investor into our business. For their own for their own customers who walk in and see the poster. Oh, you're looking for financing. You can use MicroLEAP as a facilitator, as a tool for them to raise finance. So they were very happy. And it was done in an Islamic way using commodity murabaha. So it's been great, and they're very happy to be getting the financing.
All right. What are the challenges then for MicroLEAP to increase the awareness and also the confidence to raise funds for the micro enterprises? Getting the notes, to investment notes, to get people to fund for these companies.
So the investment notes, we use digital marketing. So we do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads to get when a new note is posted on our platform. We say new Islamic note. This is the terms. This is what they want, and we blast it on all our digital media. In terms of awareness, partnerships is key for the issuers, for the borrowers, should we say? So we've actually teamed up with MDec for their e-Barakat program, which is going live, if I'm not mistaken, where we will be going up and down the country with MDec to show that there's Islamic digital financial services for the B40, for these micro enterprises, and we also have partnerships with other partners who refer potential issuers or borrowers to us.
Issuer,
so we can help finance these micro enterprises.
Yeah, we have the Tunku to MDec now. Okay, let's go back to the driving force to digitalization. Norhizam, what are the marketing strategies for Islamic Fintech to gain traction, momentum, and also for that consumer or user confidence? What is needed for them to say, hey, it's a trustworthy Islamic fintech companies?
I think it all
Give you
boils
advice,
down.
yeah.
It all boils down to what we refer as 3 A's.
Yeah. Okay.
Islamic fintech solutions are alternative solutions, because of course there are other investments, access to capital tools that are available by the financial institutions. So these are alternative solutions right now, which I hopefully in coming years will be mainstream. Second A, it's affordable. Second A is affordable because you can invest as low as RM1 in some of these platforms, or you can raise 2,000 ringgit on a P2P platform, or on an equity crowdfunding platform perhaps. And third one is accessible. And I spoke earlier about smartphone ownerships that are pretty high in Malaysia. So these 3 A's of alternative, affordable, and accessible are the mantras on how do we take into our marketing approaches. Marketing approaches, MDec cannot do this on our own. It has to be done with or in collaborations with the industry, right? So this P2P model, PPP model, is the most effective. Just now Tunku mentioned about e-Berkat. You probably have heard of other initiatives, other initiatives that MDec has done with e-Usahawan, right? Where we train micro entrepreneurs to get themselves on board onto e-commerce platform. With e-Rezeki, where we teach the B40s on how they would be able to leverage and increase their income level through gig economy platforms. Now we have that database. We do have the captive audience. Makcik Kia again. If Makcik Kia were to be already on board of some e-commerce platform, if she wants to expand her business, she would require capital, right? If she wants to ensure that her financial sustainability is assured, she wants to invest. Now with this alternative, affordable, and accessible platform, she can do that. So for viewers who wants to understand more about e-Berkat, we already have information available on mdec.my/e-Berkat. It has information about 12 fintech companies that are providing solutions on capital, solutions on investments, as well as insurance protection to help the B40s as well as the micro SMEs to have a better future.
Okay, coming back into Wahid Invest, do you face challenges with the widespread scams, if there is any? How do you solve that? How do you mitigate that issues?
Okay. It didn't affect us directly. So what we saw after we launched last year, as early as December, is that some scams, WhatsApp scam, Telegram scam, guarantee returns and so on, using our brand name and using our logo and so on, sprouted. And of course, it's disheartening to see, but because this affected their investors directly, there's not much that we can do because it doesn't affect us in such a way. So what we have done since then is we've come up with disclaimers that our only official channels are wahidinvest.com, our own iOS or Google app, and we've seen that the awareness has risen since then. But again, scams will be scams. They will sprout in a lot of forms. And the only way for us to really go about this is to increase awareness amongst the investment community. And we've seen that happening at least in the social media, saying that some of the initial users say that, oh, this is a scam, you should go to the official app, you should go to the official website. You should know that if it's an investment company, it has to be licensed by the Securities Commission as the regulator of the capital market, or if it's a bank, it should be licensed by BNM and so on. And and this is the way to go about it, we think.
Yeah.
But of course,
These
in
are the
terms of
challenges when we are in the digital scene, where you're in the
yeah,
digital landscape. Yeah,
yeah.
the fake news. Yeah, scams, scammers, and spammers also. Yeah. All right. I think about last month, MicroLEAP signed a memorandum of understanding with MTDC Corporation, which will allocate 2 million for the P2P operator to fund up 500,000 or maximum of 30% in selected Sharia compliant investment notes. Tell me more about it, Tunku. I said, congratulations on that
Yes, thank you
MOU.
very much. Yes. Yeah, we're very happy with that. So
Yeah, good news.
basically, MTDC is interested in financing some of the technology companies, the local technology companies in Malaysia. So we're happy to partner with MTDC, which is Malaysia Technology Development Corporation. So right now we're going through looking at potential issuers. There must be must have a technology angle and must be Malaysian. So basically, we will go together, and if it's something that MTDC likes and thinks it will help the local technology scene, they will invest up to 30% for the financing that this technology company is required through MicroLEAP's platform. So this kind of public-private partnership, I think, is the way to grow forward for many fintech companies. And because of the press and the interest that we got through MTDC, we're actually getting more institutions wanting to work with us. You know, we're in talks with an Islamic bank at the moment, and also another development bank that wants to work together with MicroLEAP. So this is how we think that we can really grow and have an impact in many of our issuers that we're trying to help. You know, without this public-private partnership, it's difficult for us to go on our own. Together with these big institutions, we can grow massively. So we are very excited on this.
Fantastic. All right, this would be my last question on Islamic Fintech in Malaysia. Can Malaysia be an Islamic Fintech hub, and why?
Malaysia has all the right ingredients. We have been a leader and still is in Islamic finance. We're very strong in halal certifications and halal standards. We have a lot of talents actually that have helped to build Malaysia to be where it is when it comes to Islamic economy. We have, as I said, all the right ingredients. We've been ranked on a very strong top position, and on top of that, you know, if you look at Malaysia, the position of Malaysia as the heart of ASEAN, and whether we like it or not, we have to work together with all the other countries within this market. Many scholars and many analysts believe that this corridor of Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore would create something bigger for the world of Islamic fintech. Yeah, Malaysia being the country that has the right skills and the right standards that we built over many years. Indonesia with this huge Muslims populations, it's a great opportunities for many Islamic fintech companies to come in, right? They have about 300 million people, of which 90% are Muslims. And Singapore, being a country that's highly developed and in a way a hub for financial services and tech industries, right? So these three countries, this corridor of these three countries would create something magical. And as a government agency, we constantly speak with these three countries in looking into how we would be able to position not just Malaysia, but ASEAN as the hub for Islamic fintech. Huge opportunities. You know, Muslims in the world, fastest growing populations. There will be almost 2.5 billion Muslims by 2030. Strong affluent market, especially in Middle East, right? And there's a very high interest in investments into Islamic technology companies. So I think all stars are aligned, and we just have to work harder in order for us to not just to sustain, but to take that leapfrog move in order for us to remain a strong contender, a strong player in Islamic economy.
Okay, for Wahid Events, what are your next expansion plan? Are you looking into having expansion in Southeast Asia, like what Hizam is saying? You know, there are abundance of opportunity in this Southeast Asia.
Yeah, so you know, we echo Hizam's sentiment for the region as an expanding Islamic finance you know, industry. So Wahid Invest sets out the KL office, which is our office here, to be the Asia Pacific hub, and in the future to also help out with the localization in Indonesia, in Singapore, in Brunei. And Alhamdulillah, after we received our license by the Securities Commission last year, we also received a license to operate in Indonesia by the Financial Services Authority there. And hopefully towards the end of this year, we can roll out a product there. And beyond that, we also see Singapore and Brunei as a market that we can, you know, focus on as well. Wahid Invest as a group, we have, you know, the ambition to be the global Islamic robo-advisor. We have our foot in the US and the UK. A month back, we've received a funding from Aramco that, you know, sets out our Saudi to be the Middle East hub, and these are all, you know, the kind of markets that we're looking for this year and next year to expand into.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. What about MicroLEAP? What is your big picture vision for the future for MicroLEAP? You know, share us your exciting plans.
Yes, so obviously we only were given go live status by the Securities Commission in October 2019. So, so we're very young, but obviously we have regional plans as well. So after year 1 and year 2, we'll be in Malaysia, getting our system correct, make sure we are product market fit. Our app will be launched by the end of this month, and then we're looking at secondary market trading by end of this year. And then we want to first step into ASEAN will be, of course, Indonesia, which is the largest economy, both Islamic and economy in the region. And then after that, year 4, we're looking at Philippines, and year 5, we want to go to Laos and Cambodia. So those are our regional plans. So we hopefully by end of the year, we hope to accelerate those plans depending on how successful we are.
All right. I wish you all the best for Wahid Invest, also MicroLEAP, and also to MDec. All right, that's all we have for today's show. Thank you so much, guys, for your inspiring and thoughtful answers. Do stay tuned to our KiniHalal talk show. But before that, should you wish to know more of services of MicroLEAP and Wahid Invest, there is a link, or you can click into a comment section. You can fill up your details. All right, that's all from me, Syilda Ismail from KiniHalal. Assalamualaikum. Thank you for watching KiniHalal. Thanks, Hizam, Izzat, and Tunku. And don't forget, Machikia. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye.